So, it was just to start off, really great week. Just kind of another week to, I think, make sure that we don't enter it with bias. I mean, there were so many reasons to be bearish heading into the week with all the Fed stuff and um, and everything. And we saw the dip Monday, and I think you just don't want to get caught up in sentiment when the charts and the flow are kind of right in front of you. So, I mean, that's always, something I try to be cognizant of. And, I think that we both had kind of a sense that we might get a pretty decent bounce. Some things just way outperformed what I would have expected, like Enphase. I was not in on it this week, but just a monster move. I was mainly focused on the crypto stuff and a lot of coin, some Carvana, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, just another good week. Really impressed with materials and kind of the move that they made. We've been talking about that for a while, and I think that we just saw that some of the plays just need a little patience, like Cenex is a good example of that. So yeah, I mean, just overall, really good week. I hope people went into it with a plan and it came out pretty well.
Yeah, definitely the. I don't know how you teach it, but the overall like market condition trend and the way the week's just gonna go in general. Like I kind of like, not necessarily write it down, but like like Monday for me, Monday and Tuesday were gonna be bad. Was it just Monday or just Monday and Tuesday? Like that's kind of what I didn't know going into the week, but
Yeah,
but that's what I was planning for. Um, and you're better off having a general idea, and I don't know how to pass that along, but practice it until we learn how to pass it along. Like don't be like overwhelmingly like the market's going to be bad, but like be like, all right, it's going to be a sideways day or a down day overall. What sector is going to be good? And try to find that and try to figure that out on a daily approach, and that really helps me
yeah,
kind of
absolutely. And
narrow
and
it
um,
down. Um, go ahead, go ahead.
and if I see in the option flow that I one of my stocks, it's like 4% above a line I have, and I see some market weakness at open, I will play puts on it, but I'll only play puts on it to my line, and then I see how it reacts to that line. And those lines, the ones I keep, are all based on the option strikes I see, and I originally made them with my math equation and all that, but yeah. So I mean, when I play the downside, I'm not trying to catch a market crash. I'm not trying to swing buy puts for a 7% down week or something like that. I just the market's pulling back or selling off or profit taking or whatever it is. But there's a floor that I'm confident about already on stocks that I know, and that's how I trade. And you can trade puts on it, or you can just wait it out and just wait for the bounce. If you just like to play the upside, you can do it either way. But yeah, I mean, I just there wasn't anything hinting at like a catastrophic collapse to me. Not that I'd always see that in the flow, but there weren't really the conditions for that. It just didn't look right. So yeah,
Yeah,
just being patient, I think, is important.
yeah, and to kind of combine the two, like I think that's one of the biggest values that we really add. Like I was way early. You, me, both, because we concurred on it that the market's going to be like sideways or down. We said that. March, April,
Yeah,
we started talking about that. I mean, I overshot it. At this point, more information you have. Seems like I overshot it because I said we're probably gonna have to get to September. But if you look at a lot of things, you can start with the Roblox. That stands out the most. And again, another thing we bring value to. I'm not over here saying I called the bottom on Roblox. No, no, we just caught a psychological bounce. Didn't know it was the bottom at the time. But if you look at
yeah,
Roblox, it's 100% from that spot. If you look at what Amazon did off 100, it's 40% off of that spot. If you look at like Starbucks, Square, PayPal, all the big names we kind of follow, like they found their bottom a little bit, just not all at the same time. Um, so so now that we
Yeah,
know that,
and they're not just giving it all back,
yeah,
and
yeah,
some are. I mean, some stocks are giving it all back, and it's like, and the real signal is when they failed those May lows, they're
yeah,
just kind of down in the abyss now, and they'll recover some, but they don't have that strength to keep building. So it's why D Dog is much better than Net right now. Even
yes.
though I used to trade Net every day, and pretty much switched to D Dog and Crowd a bit, just because of this issue, the strength that D Dog showed in the worst times in the market. That's why it's kind of a keeper, and that's why it's more reliable to trade
and
off its levels.
and at this time, I mean, you're. Yeah, I understand a lot of the sexy stuff is going to be the first up. So I mean, if you didn't nail Nvidia at those 155 levels, or you didn't nail Amazon at the $100 level, you're not you got to go on to the next stuff. I mean, that's for me.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't sit there and focus on what you missed
Or
when there's
or
a
Tesla at 650.
yeah, I was a
I
hundred
thought
hundred
I
bucks
thought
off.
550. Yeah, um, but I don't want to chase it up here.
Yeah,
I put that in my notes that um, I'm not saying it's just gonna collapse, but there's just kind of limited upside at this time above 900.
yes,
And until I
yes.
see the options change on that, then that's kind of where we are.
Yeah, but there's other fish in the sea. It just not might not be the
Oh
ones
yeah,
that you
yeah,
want, and focusing
yeah.
on
Even
those.
if you want EV, I mean, there's
Yeah.
Rivian, there's Lucid, there's
Yes.
Neo. Like, so yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No. And again, I think that's one of the biggest values is we kind of like, and I don't know how to teach it, but I definitely want to like always point it out and have people practice it themselves. But we kind of catch what the trend is or what the overall happening, and then maybe not be first on it, but be in the pool way before a lot of others. And we're just getting so many of these nice bottom bounces.
Yeah, and I like a big sell off day because that's when the flow is most revealing. Because just to see what they're buying into all that selling, and it, as and then as stocks are falling, they hit levels I already know about. It's a little harder when they're just in a melt up and
Yeah.
they're in kind of new territory. I just don't like to trade up there. The only time I do it is when the sector is just like A plus plus, like when oil was going, and you could just hit Dino and SD every day, and all that. But yeah, so yeah, I think I like our approach. I always just look for ways as a teacher to convey that information, and so that's kind of what I'm focused on.
Yes.
You're going to see a
Well,
lot more.
I don't even see that part really us pushing as important. So that's why I kind of wanted to say it because it's just very
Yeah,
important. Like, when we privately talk, that's kind of the one thing that we do, I guess, complain about is that like, God, why did they, why are they even thinking that way going into the day? Like, why is it, you know,
yeah, right. Or like when SPY is up on the day, it's like, well, we have all this inflation and we're in a recession. Why is SPY up? And I'm not trying to be uh, like a Nobel Prize winning economist,
yeah,
but all I know is that a lot of the charts have limited room to give up down here, and that whales are setting them up to go up. They're selling puts. They're buying out of the money weeklies. They see a path up for these stocks, and you get the bad. I mean, sometimes you have bad news, and the market wants to dwell in it and doom and gloom and all of that. Other times, the market's very forward looking. You get the bad news out of the way, and it's like, okay, now we can go up. And you can't. It's hard to judge that sentiment. So to get an edge, you have to have something else, and that's where the TA and the flow come in. And so that's where we're at. And
Well, and on those bad days, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, the down days, like I don't even turn on the news until like noon my time because I don't want their opinion, right? Like I don't need that in my life. But even on the
yeah,
days that I think are gonna be down, um, I just play. That's when I play the shitty penny momentum stocks, or days that I'm not certain. That's when I play those. Um, and I know when you think it's going to be bad, you just watch the QQQ puts, right? Like that's what you do.
yeah, yeah,
Like you, but
yep,
you have a plan that is proven successful even in a negative environment, and that's a skill that everyone needs to figure out that edge. And even if that edge for you is just leaving for the day, um, that's better than just assuming
yeah, yeah.
you
I
know
mean, if stuff's falling, you set alerts at levels where you want to buy something, and you just wait it out. And if it doesn't hit that level, then oh well. If it does, you can look at entering. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it, and I know it's hard to play both sides of the market. And the worst thing you can do is like chase momentum down, and then it flips, and you chase momentum up, and you end up losing twice. So you have to be careful about that. But yeah, I mean, if you just have some levels that's going to hit, and you just go from there. I mean, before earnings, I was just putting puts on Tesla every single time it got near 750 because it was not going to break that without a catalyst, and it was earnings that finally did it. Um,
Nice, nice.
so yeah, yeah. All right, so I'll get into
Let's do it.
some of these. I tossed you weeks ago. They haven't done a lot since then, but now I'm starting to really see something come in on theme parks. I got six is the first one.
What's the
So this is
what's the ticker?
Six Flags. Six.
SIX. Okay.
Yep. All right. So this is in my notes, and it's going to be those. They've got those monthly calls on it, and I just see a very clear path to 25 for August calls, and then
30.
27.50, 30 for September.
30. There's a big gap here. Like 25 is gonna get smashed.
Yeah,
Yeah, more like gonna go to that 27, 28. It's gonna settle between those two other numbers. With any kind of you got the ER on the 11th. But yeah,
yeah. So this essentially is for me as a trade this week is an ER run up. I would have probably like stay out of it for earnings and then go back to it after earnings. Would be kind of my approach to it.
21's a nice level at 21 to 23 is kind of where you're at right now. But yeah, this has plenty of breakout to it. I like it.
Yeah, and I do want to see. I'm watching for if we get like a flush Monday morning or something. That might be good. But
Even
yeah, and those contracts, by the way, that in terms of cost, uh, the 25C for August 19th is about $60. So it's not going to break the bank to get one or two of those, and they move pretty nicely.
I like these. I like the 27s too. They're a little cheaper. I
Yeah,
know I know
yeah.
you're not super far out of the money guy, but I like them.
Well, yeah, it's feasible, and they'll move with the stock. I mean, if the stock hits 25 this week, those 27.50s will be like 40 or $50, and they're 17 right now. So um, yeah, especially if you're learning options, throw $20 at something. Watch how it moves in relation to the price. I think that's always good. And by the way, that's why I'm putting the specific contracts I like in my notes
I
now,
like
so
that.
you guys can follow those. All right, my next one is another theme park. Uh, SeaWorld is SEAS. Now, on this one, the flow is a little bit longer term. I do have some September at 50, but what really caught my attention here, I've got December calls at, and I
lost you there, P.
sort of know that could be it. But yeah, definitely theme parks, resorts, all that kind of stuff was popping off uh, late in the week.
I got pretty decent strength at 45 on that.
Nice.
What's this though? Like 55 stand 50 54 52 kind of stands out. Um,
Yeah, and with the leaps they're buying time, and they really would plan for those to be pretty deep in the money by the time December rolls around. Just based on the kind of buying they're doing would be my impression on it.
does this has ER the 4th? So this is next week.
Yeah, so we'd probably want to wait till after earnings on it.
I like it. Yeah, this is a good example, kind of what we were saying in the prequel to here today. You might have wanted to catch Disney at 92. Let's go. But SeaWorld and Six Flags might be the ones that you're going to make money off of currently.
Yeah, definitely. They could be sort of lagging in the sector a bit. And the way I do this, the filters I use, these plays kind of come to me. I mean, so they'll start popping up. Yeah. I'll notice them, and then I'll dig into it. And it happened a little bit a couple weeks ago. I put these in collab. Yes. Now they're really kind of firing off large to where I think I might enter.
All right, next they both have earnings coming soon too. That's interesting. That I like that setup.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if their earnings are good. And I mean, that would make buying last week. That would make sense. I don't like to risk ER plays, but there'll be plenty of entries, after earnings on it. All right. So next up for me is GoGo. So I in the other room caught a huge move on GoGo the last time it had a big run up, and have just kind of been waiting for it, just to see where it wants to go. Really nice flow on 81920C, which is about $25 as a contract, and would not be surprised at all if we hit that $20 level this week.
Yeah, I have a 15 to 7, 15 and a quarter to 1750 channel, but it's moved off that 17 line pretty well. So
yeah.
You see it caught 1, 2, 3, caught a week back in March, and then most of April at that level. So where'd you play? You had to play this at 12 or so. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Back in. And
yeah, it was one of those. I had some shares and options, and I kind of just let the shares ride all the way up. So yeah, it was nice. All right. So next up for me is
we need a.
So
sorry.
ORGN. Oh, go ahead.
ORGN. We need a first entry price on some of our plays, because if you just like the first time we mention them, write down the price. Like some of them are
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like there's some of them are dumb.
Right.
Yeah. Like you can't get bagged on them. It's crazy. All right, ORGN.
Yep. So the contract I like in this one is 819 7.5C.
This feels like an S
And
pack. Let me see. It kind of feel like an S pack. No, I think it was just got a 10. I like it.
this is one of those basic material stocks that pops up on my radar once in a while, and just really strong week and just some overwhelming flow for continuation is what I'm seeing. So 588 to 750 in 2 weeks. That's a pretty good move. So looking for this. I don't know how much of a dip we're going to get, but that particular contract is about $10. So not a huge risk.
5.5 is pretty strong. That's about all you're gonna get. Um,
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Entries 550 to 575, something like
yeah,
that.
that's all you're getting. And that's nice because I have 536 kind of as its volume profile in the 1 year, but you can stop loss under that. So if you stop loss like 5.25, if you can have that risk tolerance, that's a pretty safe entry, and you shouldn't get flushed out. I kind of mentioned that to you in general. Like we're gonna set it, especially long term. We're gonna be the best swing traders on the market because we're early and they always move. Um,
Yeah,
we're just dealing with a lot of negative catalysts right now. Um, but yeah, I like this one, especially if you can set up. I mean, yeah, anything around 530. I just don't see it happening. So if you can enter, like Professor's saying, 550 to 575, that's a good spot for shares in my opinion. With I have 7, you have 750.
yeah,
Yeah, I still like the dollar move. Either way.
yeah. And there's no 7C, so the
Oh, okay.
750 could
Okay.
be a move to 7, and that
Yeah,
would be comparable. So yeah,
yeah, I like it. What's the date on that?
819.
819. That's where a lot of them are. You got to be filter on 819, don't you?
Well, yeah, they're a lot of them are on those monthly contracts, so that's basically the next
Oh,
date you're
so
gonna
like
get
for
them.
for like small caps, that's where the contracts are saturated right now for the
Yeah,
next.
exactly.
Okay.
And we are in the perfect week to buy those, just in terms of the price dipping enough and still having some time on like a short swing. So
Okay.
that week before, because next week you'd have to decide maybe I'll just push this out to September, and you're going to pay a little more. If it's a swing, that's fine, but like you just have less room for error in as the expiration approaches. All right, so what I have next
That was a great stupid question.
is a
To say.
M Mon- Monster Energy drinks, MNST,
I
and
pulled this.
you want to talk?
I pulled this up when you were talking about charts that are hard to play at the top end, or
Yeah.
like in the pre-chat. Like I was gonna mention this because we're
And you want to talk about one where the original entry was good.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this one was like $25 ago. But okay, so the reason I like it now is it's at that point where they want to push it through all-time highs, and I think it's going to go another 10-15% from there. And so I'm basically kind of um, looking for that move. Contracts up at like 110 in 2 weeks are kind of getting there. And yeah, so I think we could just break all-time high. Just we'll take this one for a ride. It's going to keep going. That's where I'm at on it.
You just think it's time?
Yeah, yeah. I see him pushing it. They're selling a lot of puts at 95, so they're kind of just gearing up. And if we could get a dip to that, like to 95,
Yeah.
that'd be great. But it might not happen. So I think this the kind of trade that this might be for me is uh, a scalp with that clear push, that clear momentum, and just the shorter expiration stuff. But
I like that it's the third test. I'm a big numbers guy, and the third test is usually, I don't want to say it's high probability, but if you were like gonna gamble, like pick a number, usually the third test is when it's gonna do it. It's just because it's ate up a lot of that the people that are gonna sell at the number, right? Like that's what on these high peaks here, that's what you're really running into is people that are like they're percentage whores, kind of like me. But
yeah,
when they hit 100, they're just like, oh, I'm taking 100. I just turned 88 or 92 or whatever into 100, and they just take it. So I think you eventually run out of that saturation. Um, and I think you're getting there.
and this is in in consumer defensives. I've been doing this enough where like I saw it with Dollar Tree and I saw it with Costco, and they got on that streak of like all setting all-time highs every day, really until the inflation stuff started to hit. And whales were just very cautious trying to short those. They did not have any appetite for that. It's not like a tech stock where they'll just jump all over it when it goes parabolic, and they'll bring it right back down. They just like kind of feel like there's going to be sort of a slow grind up once it breaks that all time high. And so that's what I'm looking for. My target on it anywhere from like 107 to 112 is probably where it'll go.
Decent.
But it doesn't need to even get there to be successful on it. So I'm looking at that move that break 100, 103, 104, 105, something like that, and plenty of opportunities.
I like it.
All right, so my next one, Carvana back on there, and just because I'm really kind of doing. Last week, I mentioned that I was looking for a drop back to 21, but then I saw pretty clearly it was probably going to reverse to 24. It did that, headed right back up towards 30, and we're I'm adding it to the hot list, but I want to wait for either a clear break of 29.50 or a pullback back into that. It could be 21 to 25. It depends on kind of the overall market conditions. But this is an excellent stock for options because it regularly will give you 7 to 10% days, and for a stock this size, um, that's a great move. I mean, if you catch half of that move on weeklies, you're going to be at like 50-75% gains on it. So it's volatile, risky. You go small, but it's really starting to settle into some levels that I have some trust on.
There are lots of buy-in last week and a half. 40 is kind of my top end. If it does continue this run, you're about to break out into a good spot on the channel. So I wouldn't be surprised if we test 35. Um, under proper market conditions, maybe all the way to 40 or 38, 39.
Oh, nice. Nice.
There's plenty of room for it. What's the? Yeah, there's plenty of room down here.
All right. So uh, is AG the silver play,
Nice.
and I had called this one. I said I liked it under 7. It's now at 766, and silver. Both gold and silver look good right now. Silver actually looks bit a little bit stronger to me currently. So this is one of many silver stocks you could look at. It's the one that has the best combination for shares plus options. If you're kind of options only, D would be your best bet. If your shares only, probably that one. What's it like? EXK, I think it is.
Yeah, that and the
Yeah,
G8,
yeah,
GATO.
yeah, and Gato too. By the way,
Yeah.
I'm also going to hot list Gato. That's
Hey,
the
you
that's the
pick
small cap one I like.
you picked that out of the bundle I sent you, or did you just have that randomly?
No, yeah, I picked it out of the bundle because I was bullish on silver, and then that's one of those that TA first that I liked. When I dug into the flow, I liked it. Yeah.
I like it. What do you have on AG here?
All right. So on AG, the main contracts for this week are mostly those 25. But once you get into September, you start seeing popping up a lot, and this is just sort of the run on precious metals I saw last time. I could see taking shape here, where we could go to 950, 10 on it, and just a pretty smooth grind up.
I mean, we're way low here. Last time this ran off of like the $10 level last time.
Yeah.
I mean, so just back to that is good. I really have 8 on the chart as like the area it needs just to kind of get it back above here soon. To open up the
Right. Right.
opportunity to go to the 10. But it's thick at 10 and 11. But I could see 10 and 11. But from 8 to 10 is great. 8 to 11 is even better. If you so getting this at like 750 here, to me it's a good spot. I like this play. Um,
Yeah, and I mean, if you don't want to day trade it, you can just get some shares or get some leaps or both, and just wait it out. And I think you'll do fine. The the decline on silver in particular was well beyond what I expected, but at the same time that presents an opportunity. These are not penny stocks that are just gonna die and stay dead. I mean, it's tied to the price of a commodity, and so you can kind of see silver in a bit of a recovery, and these can and by the way, so on Gato's flow is a little tricky because the options are either 2.5 or 5C, so you got to kind of look out further, and it's really that 5C in November getting some attention. That is pretty strong, and it just moves a nice percentage in comparison to its peers as well. So that's why I like that.
yeah, I got the 475 level right in there. Um, and then we came right off of this 325 or $3 level. So I just like that range. Yeah, like
Yeah,
you kind of said it just has a pretty nice range in the group. Um, Especially if this one starts getting a lot of volume.
yep. And then so my next one is Eat,
Yay!
which I had actually independent of your post, so it's nice that those match up. And all
Well,
right,
yeah,
so for Eat,
I like sending to you like that, especially since you're digging through flow. If you see something in the flow, like maybe that'll grab your attention, or if you're on the fence about something, um, yeah, it just
yeah,
it
sure.
seems like getting you that when you're working is where it's at.
Yeah. This is one we're coming back to that. We caught a nice move on it last time, and really it's 30C, kind of plain as day for August 19th. That that jumps out at me. Could definitely go higher from there, but I really I feel like they're going to push those in the money, and that would be that would make them about 150 to $170, and they're about 80 right now. So that'd be a pretty nice move on in options. Really good spot.
Yeah, it kind of built a double floor, which is what I liked about the chart when I was going through it. 22 was kind of the floor, and then it pulled back to this 24, and both of those shelves on the volume profile are pretty thick. So you kind of have, I mean, just a good area to not worry about, in my opinion, or add off of. Don't think you'll get under 25 if there is any kind of pullback. But I have this going to 35 from here, so 34, 35 right in that range. Chart's just set up real nice to do that with limited stops on the way. What the hell
Yeah.
do they what the hell do they do?
Um, they're they're a restaurant stock.
Do
Like
they like
I forget which.
do they like like supply? Are they in the supply side,
Uh,
or do they own
look it
people?
up. I think they own people. Let me see.
That sounds so bad.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I can do this now. I just learned this on. I don't need thinkers and losers needed to tell me about this. Go in here and where's it at? Oh, shit. Oh,
Oh
it's
yeah,
chilies.
Chili's. Yeah, Chili's.
Chilies. Yeah, buy some
Yep.
chilies. Baby back ribs.
Yeah.
Sweet. I like it.
Yep. All right. So let's see. I got one more or two more. I got two more. All right. So then next up for me is Sens,
Say it one
and
more.
we've been in Sens,
Okay.
SENS.
Yeah. Sugar beet.
Yep. All right. So
You were on
what?
this a week or so ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago. You were talking. You said it came up.
Yeah, yeah, and I just kind of seen some more pilot in. So really, it comes down to 1.5C for September is what really got my attention, and those cost about $8, and so I would look to probably double up those contracts, uh, and yeah,
What?
so I pretty see a pretty clear move there. Not sure how much we'll get above 150, but 150 to 175 maybe, because I think they're planning for these to be in the money.
September? You said?
Yeah, September.
Okay, yeah, I see it. I see it. You said 8 cent contract. You know me, I'm gonna buy some of that. I can afford a couple of
Yeah.
those. I can afford a couple of those ones. And I like that. I like this stocking company in general. Um, very quickly, Professor isn't a guy to like put a bunch of emojis behind it, but he just used the word piling in, and he chooses his words wisely. So that to me, especially on a smaller stock, means there's a lot of attention here.
that it's like you have some time and you get any kind of move on this, those contracts double up fast.
Oh, losing you a little bit. You went digital on me. I love this stock. This is a sell in news too.
All right, I'm going to move to a different
There you go.
Wi-Fi spot here. Oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, so I was just saying that you know, they're $8, and you don't buy a lot of them, but it's fun to turn $8 into 16 and or 20. So that's what we're looking to do there.
Yeah. So
All right, so my
whether you're a 16, a 40, or an $80 guy, figure it out. That should be
yeah,
sizing's key. If 80 is a large percentage of your portfolio, you're probably a 16 guy. If $80 is dinner for you and the wife, good spot to have a little lotto.
yeah, it probably the
Nope, I lost you again.
basically. I mean, the ADRs had kind of a rough day in general. There was a story about them potentially delisting. Now, with Didi, the most the most likely path always was that they would just go ahead and delist. With Baba, I think it's actually the opposite. I think they're going to reclassify to have like like to not be an ADR in the U.S. Like to whatever they have to do to you know relocate somewhere else in terms of their stock in the U.S. market. I think that probably is the most likely thing. Where they'll have basically it'll be two stocks, one in China, one here. Now I'm not. That's just my impression. That could go a different way, but regardless, a move back to 100 is very likely at some point here. So I think you can catch some of that momentum as it reacts to news or just kind of goes on a run. And so I like it off 92 for a move over 100, basically.
Yeah, I had 87.63. So the 88 level. I also put a trend line up on this. The trend line's a little bit below that. But since the March lows, this thing's been in an uptrend, higher low, with beautiful range. Definitely have the same target as you. 101 is what I have on that top end. So, um, also we have another earnings on the 8-4. So kind of have that we're going to run into this week.
Yeah, and I had mentioned in the just in the main channel that March lows are what you want to look at for the Chinese ADRs. They were really kind of 2 months ahead of the bottoms on a lot of the U.S. stocks. So you want to look at that. I mean, if the market and the ADRs just collapses, like that's the number to look at, and it'll be uneven. I mean, some are stronger than others, and some won't even come close to that. But yeah, so Baba was my lotto addition to what we're doing. You can play weeklies on it. You can go 2 weeks out. You could buy 10 shares if you want. I mean, however you want to play it. But yeah, we should get a good move on.
Hoping for more pullback going into ER this week. That's what I'm hoping for. Anything in the low 80s seems like a safe spot after ER.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Yeah,
we're,
for sure.
We're back in that. On this one, I'd play it like that. Hopefully it flushes in ER, and you just buy that to come back up to 100.
Yeah, and if you're doing shares, there's a decent chance that there's going to be some fat red ER candle that's going to be its low that it won't see during market hours.
Yeah.
So that, if you do that, if you play after hours, that sometimes you can catch that, um, and you know get an extra $5 on it or something. But yeah, so
So a good 10. That's a good 10 share, 10 to 100 share strategy, depending on your portfolio.
yeah, yeah. I do like. I don't know if you're going to talk about it, but SDIG, I like that. I saw you mention that one.
Yeah, yeah, I
I'm
like
not.
that. This is the little bit of a lagger, and then if
I,
crypto's hot, also an American company, so they're good on that side. I just like where the chart's at. Lots of range. As opposed, you look at anything else like Amara, Riot, um, Hive, HUD, all those, they've kind of taken off the floor. This is still down there.
yeah, and so you're just sort of looking for those as the sector's hot, everything gets found, and that's kind of what's likely here. Uh, and I do. I'm very interested in micro strategies again, that MSTR, because they have earnings, and because I think the earnings are going to be bad. That they'll bounce back quickly if crypto stays hot. So that's kind of what that's not something to hot list, but that's my plan on it. And if I'll update that in the notes. Of the large caps, they're most tied to the price of Bitcoin. I don't even know what else they do, but that's what they're known for, is being going heavy into Bitcoin. So
That thing has some gnarly range.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So coin is kind of my safer crypto stock that I trade, just because the levels have been so strong on it. But it has huge range too. But yeah, micro strategies. That one's been sort of the lotto. I had a $30 call on it that ended up selling for 300. So yeah, you can catch a big range on that one.
The thing
And
about
that's one where
Go ahead.
I do go out of the money on that.
the
Um,
the thing
so,
about
yeah.
CoinP is they're gonna that thing's gonna rip as soon as the SEC stuff goes away with whatever they're being
Oh yeah, I
investigated
mean,
for. It's gonna smash.
if you look at like just the whole landscape of these crypto brokers and everything, like who's going to survive all this? I think FCX will, and Coin will for sure. I mean, those are two that I think will be here when the dust settles. So so yeah, I definitely I like Coin. I mean, I was posting about Coin on Twitter, and I had some troll asking me like basically like chastising me. Well, you didn't call it from whatever, like 200 to 50. You didn't call that. So like, well, all right, but I've been trading it the whole time pretty
Yeah.
well. So I don't know. I'm catching the smaller moves, I guess. I don't know, whatever. But
Darn
um,
it.
yeah, I mean, you could say that about anybody. Everybody'd be rich if they,
Yeah.
just did put leaps on Upstart and all them. Like, you know, I mean, congrats to anyone who saw that coming. So
it takes the
anyway,
same balls to do that as it did to buy the Malos, and most people don't do it. So I don't want to hear
yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. Because you're just, you're totally against sentiment at that point. I mean, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
No, the smart ones
Well,
figure out what's happening early and adjust and attack what's left.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
So
All right.
are
So
you going to the hot list ones now?
yeah, let's do it.
All right. How many new we got? One, two, three. About 10 new ones there. I like that. AA be first up.
Yeah, yeah. We should keep that.
Okay.
I think I'd been talking about kind of a larger scale uptrend getting going on metals, and I think that I think we're there. So it might pull back here and there, but overall picture is good.
Yeah, you're right on the 50 psych and 47s are number under that anyways. So I like where it's at still for sure. AMRS.
Yeah, they basically they continue to move this one through the 2C and 2P. Um, both those contracts are bullish right now, so yeah, I like it. It's in a good zone to add. I mean, anything around 180 to me is good, and you'll see this go back to two if the market's right. 220. Uh, you can just scale out along the way.
Yeah, I definitely want to see a break two this week. But it's well covered in the notes, so on to buy at the 170 scale out around two level if it doesn't show strength. So um, I like it. If this kind of flushes out people that chase when you get messages like I bought at 195 or I bought at 208. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
it kind of tells you where people are going wrong. Um,
yeah. It's not a good idea to buy up there. I mean, until it breaks way through that, pulls back and holds, and you get that support resistance flip. Because
yeah,
I think
yeah,
long term, I think this will be a really good stock. But right now, we're just playing a reliable channel, and you don't want to buy at the top of the channel.
yeah, and it's not a back to 4 or 5 overnight. It's a take 2 or 3 weeks and we'll be at the 253 level. That's what we're looking for,
Yeah,
in my opinion. ASTS power move.
yeah. I'll probably just take the win on it and take it off. But yeah, I think that it's one to keep an eye on. But we probably do get a little pullback here.
Okay. AUY.
We should keep gold. This is probably the best one still. This and sand to me are what I look for.
We are gonna have a gold argument here in a little bit. BBW, Build a Bear. It got crushed Friday.
Yeah, it did. I still kind of like it though. I want to keep it one more week.
Okay.
Be stubborn on that one.
That's usually a good sign so far when you're stubborn. I think this
Yeah,
is a gold miner, CBE.
yeah. This had a great move all week.
Yeah, perfect off our level too.
Um, yeah. Let's see. Let me see here. I'm still thinking this will go to 4, so
That's
I'm gonna
enough.
keep it.
Yeah, that's enough meat for me. That's perfect trade for. I like that. It's 80 cents on a $3 stock. Sign me up.
Yeah.
I'll take half of it. CEG are one we'd play.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm still pretty bullish. I mean, I still like this one better than Tilray.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm the same boat. These are just gonna wait until the news. This level is really good on the daily and the weekly. If you look at the weekly, I mean it's so tight down here. Um, move back to 3.5, 4, just on anything, Um, Chewy.
So, um,
On my end, it didn't hold 42 at all, which was I actually had it in my notes.
yeah. Um, yeah. It's not quite strong enough for me to hotlist it.
Perfect.
So I'll probably take it off for now.
Klein, big dub here.
Yeah.
Yeah, got above that. We had 625 as the level to get to it. It had no problem doing that. So unless you see more on your end, I would take the dub here and call it good.
Yeah. We'll take it off for now.
Okay.
RSI is a little hot.
Yeah, no. Sometimes you get lucky, you get the full move, but you gotta.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get greedy. You take the full move.
Yeah.
This kind of is in that boat for me too, unless you have 3.5 strong um, clove.
Uh, yeah. I'm. No. I think we're good on clove.
Okay,
I think
yeah,
I'll take it off.
perfect. I mean, that's just a great candle for me though. I like that. Again, you get the 30 cents on a sub $3 stock. It's great, um,
Yeah.
especially when it's off a level. CSTM. The hell is this stuff? Some French stuff.
Oh yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I still like this one. Basically, looking at is point five or 819. They're still pretty strong.
I like it. Okay, keep that one. Um, That's kind of an interesting one because we definitely got the move, but just how we approach it from here on out is Datadog.
They've got earnings coming up, right?
Yeah, I think one, two, three, four Thursday early.
Yeah. I'm gonna take it off just because I'm not
Yep.
buying it at 102. Um,
Yeah.
earnings could kind of shake it into a new paradigm. Otherwise, if not, it'll pull back this week. We'll put it back on the hot list next week because it's still great in those low to mid 90s. But yeah.
Yep. I'm in the same thing. The weekly is a good example of kind of where you want to buy it at. Whether you have I have 90 97 is kind of the zone to buy, and then you sell up here at the 102 107 range. Um, but yeah, I like it a lot. Just not this week. To start the week.
Yeah. Yeah.
DraftKings.
With earnings this week. Yeah, I still like it. I'm just gonna be a little stubborn on this one too. I still see it in that $15 to $17 range uh, by football season.
Yeah,
So
we're back.
so we'll see. I mean, our earnings tell us a lot,
Yes.
but yeah, that's where I'm at.
You got all green candles high or low on the weekly, just bouncing off of $14 right now. Once it gets through that, I'm totally with Professor on the 16, 17 range. Right in here, right in here. Perfect. FSR.
Uh, yeah, I would have thought it would have moved by now. Still just waiting it out. Still like it, $10 to $12.
We'll keep
That's
it.
what the flow says. Yeah.
Keep it. Hood.
So this is one that I think will, if the market stays positive, it's going to benefit from that. I see it in like the $10-11 range. So that's enough of a move from 9 for me to keep it.
We have earnings this week too. Got a lot of those on here. it is a big week for earnings. Hertz. Speaking of earnings,
Yeah.
right off our
Um,
level though. Okay.
yeah. I always miss this one. Um,
Hmm.
I'd be hesitant to buy it up here, but there is flow. So is your chart set up for 25?
Let me see what I got here. I mean, yeah, yeah. It's set up for yeah. I mean,
Uh,
that to me. That's where it gets interesting. To be honest with you, that's really where it gets interesting. But I could see it testing that over the next week and a half. I mean, it went so against everything on Thursday and Friday after earnings. Like, yeah, I think we get to 24, 25 for sure. I don't know about after that without some solid news. I mean, because then you're getting. I'm not counting these. I'm not counting these back here. I mean, then you're kind of for me getting into the all-time high area. But I mean, if you see contracts start popping up at 30, what are they dollar contracts or 2.5? Yeah, if you see like the 27 fives and the 30 start popping up, I mean, I would, yeah.
that might happen this week. Those would be for September calls. August too close for that, but yeah, I could see that happening.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, if we're keeping it, it's simple. We're looking for the 20 to hold. Like you want this to check back. If it continues to go, I don't know. I don't really play those continuation scalps like that, right? Like I look for that level to hold. For me, it'd be 20. I'd like for it just to touch 20 and then move up to 24, 25. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll always just be mad I didn't buy this at 1750.
yeah,
I guess
16.
like twice now, but yeah,
Yeah. So, what do you think? Yes, no?
yeah, we'll keep it.
Okay.
I think that when I see a test of 25 as such not a certainty, but a high likelihood, it's worth keeping.
I just like them. I like them in general because they're gonna pivot their market to more of like helping the Uber, Lyft, DoorDash people, so you could like rent a car from them if you don't have a car, so you could work, or just the like the they're gonna be the first one to like offer a large selection of EVs. It seems whether it's
Yeah,
Tesla or not.
and I think Avis is good too, but Avis is just scary expensive as a stock. It's too you sure like you definitely can't trade shares on that, in my opinion, unless you're like a mega account. So yeah, so Hertz is the best rental car stock, definitely.
I like it. Hut Bitcoin.
Yeah. So we'll definitely be active in crypto this week, I think.
I
And
got some of that gold.
Hut's Hut's the share option combo stock that works the best. Although Riot and Mara are pretty good for that too. But
I got a crappy entry at 210s. I'm pretty much even. I better open up. I'm gonna have a bad Monday if I'm opening down on that. Kind.
yeah, it was kind of a quiet week for real estate, but I still really like it, and that's still my favorite one. So yeah.
Matt Mattel.
Let me see. Funko was better. Nah, that
Okay.
I don't see what I saw last week. So now
You
let's
saw
take it off.
you saw whatever was going on with the ER. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Mo.
yeah. Mo. So Mo is good to keep on the list. kind of as a reminder of when the market goes risk off, you want to, if you're trading options, that's where you want to look, because you're going to get the slow grind up 1.5% days. And if you're in weekly options, you're going to do really well on it. So yeah, Mo remains pretty oversold, still down from the e-cigarette stuff, which I think was kind of overblown. And uh, whales like this one, so yeah, we should keep it.
I was beating myself up a little bit about not playing the news over reactions, but I was on this one early enough, so I'm glad we're still
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
I like it. I like it back to 50 with 45 in the way, but um, I think once it gets some kind of positive catalyst, it's a pretty smooth move back to 50.
yeah. And it's I mean, if you're a long term kind of person, they're very consistent with their dividend and it's pretty high. So it's kind of one of those too.
Like it. Momo.
Yeah, I'm really interested in China this week. I guess Pelosi didn't go to Taiwan, so that don't have that catalyst going. Yeah, so Momo to me still is kind of destined for $5. It's hard to say when. If you're looking at options on it, like early September, 5C is like $20, $25. That's kind of where I'm at. So I don't see a lot of downside from here, and I'm just kind of waiting on that move to 5.
Keep it.
So I like it.
Right.
Yeah, we'll keep it.
MVST.
I'm just gonna take the win on this.
Okay.
Had a nice move. Yeah.
Like it. NVAX.
I
Should be more
Flow's a
active
little
on your
uncertain.
end. Really?
Yeah, I'm not seeing. One thing that could happen. Moderna has earnings this week, and NVAX is always a good sympathy play for that. Um, I I think I would keep it if the TA is really strong.
This 50 is hella strong, but I figured you would see. I mean, it can just go to 70 so quickly
Yeah,
from here.
but I think I'm going to keep it because the floor for me is strong enough at 52 that there's just kind of limited downside risk. I mean, the only thing that could just break the chart and send them right through that is some bad FDA news or something. But that doesn't really seem likely for them right
You
now.
have 52 on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're keeping this. Yeah, that's too.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, just on the very little risk.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I you know I'm kicking myself on this one because when it hit its lows, and I just like I posted just kind of a rhetorical question. I'm like, so is Novavax like what was it, like a $35 stock or something? Because it was just collapsing. And I didn't think it was. I'm like, this is going to recover, but I didn't buy it. But still, you just sort of could see when a price drops so far below even what the flow was doing, and given the sector and all of that, definitely could see a lot of potential there. So and I still think we're in the early stages of that move back up. This could very easily be a $70 to $90
Yeah.
stock.
Yeah, and
Um, yeah,
on the larger time frame, like the larger you go, the more 50 stands out. Like
yeah,
it's just a strong, and that to me is, I mean, 50 and 100 are pretty, but like they're huge psychologically for stocks. So if this holds 50, I mean your potential is 20 to 100%. I mean just
yeah,
easy,
and
easy.
that's where I think percentages can kind of mess with your mind, because when a stock is like so beaten up like this, and it goes 18-20% over a week, it's like, well, that's it, there's the move. But look at where it's coming from. And this isn't like upstart to me. I mean, this is a kind of proven company that could have stuff down the pipeline, and it's not going to reach that COVID euphoria, but definitely could recover back to that 70, 80, 90 level. So yeah, I like it.
I'm updating my line, but yeah, I could see that. I like it a lot. Open.
Yeah, same story as Kind. This is actually a really good spot um, to add open. I anything under 5 is good. I mean, 450 is great. That level I think is going to hold. I don't think it's going to go below 450. That's sort of the option floor. So give yourself some time on it. It's real estate. There's not a lot of positivity in the real estate market, but the stocks are also really bottomed out. So pretty safe down here.
The daily's getting tight. I like it. Um, agree with you on the level too. Play.
Let's see.
We had 3 solid weeks right off of our level. This is a new line, so I didn't have that there before. I think my old line was like 33, but
Yeah, I'm still kind of adamant this is the best restaurant stock. So I'm not gonna add eat and then take play off. I'm gonna keep. I think we
okay.
should keep play. Just on the option side, I don't like weeklies on this. I'd rather go a little further out of the money, and I'd go to like 40C for August 12th is $50. And just to give you an example, so play on went up 0.81% on Friday. That 40C contract that I just mentioned went up 96% based on that move. Now, this is a question for the class. Why would an option contract double in price on a move of less than 1% on a stock? Why would that happen?
That's crazy. Just because of the share amount, right? Like, or not the share,
Because
the
the whales are buying it.
yeah,
It's the demand for that particular
contract.
contract that does it. Which to me, and you kind of don't know that's going to happen. Like, you see it happening as it's going on, but what that tells me is there's your price target. That this is probably going to hit $40 by the end of next week, and so that's an aspect of options to pay attention to. You want, when you're out of the money, you want that realistic target, and that realistic target might be 3%. It might be 8%. It depends on what I base it on, what the whales are actually willing to buy, and that's where they're at right now. So I think 40C for next week's a good contract to look at.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I think we get one of these candles right here. Um, if that thesis holds true, I'm really watching around that 38.5 level. Um, just to hold.
Yeah.
Shop.
Let's see. Yeah, we've kind of nailed this one after the split. Um,
It's alternating red green on the weekly off the same level. You're
yeah,
like
I
15,
30
20%.
like 32 to 36
Yep.
is where I'd want to play this, and that's where the kind of the option strikes are lining up right now. So yeah, I want to keep it, but I want it to fall a bit before I actually
Yeah, I'm
buy it. So
32 to 40 is my channel. The same thing. You buy it.
So yeah, so like
32.
but if by Tuesday or Wednesday we're in the 32s, that'd be a great spot for it.
I like it. 33 with some strength in the market. Market looking real good. It's at 33. That might not be bad too.
Yeah.
High or low there. Skills finally made the 150, bud.
Yeah, yeah, I still like skills. Looking for $2 in September is kind of where I'm at on it.
All right, we'll keep her.
And you can get like September 16th 2C is $12. So
I like it.
that's a nice contract.
T Doc.
I yeah, I think there's an opportunity here. It did have a little bounce after that. If they just can't do earnings, they're just whatever is about their company is just it's not the right environment for for them and their numbers they put out there. Yeah, so we're kind of back where we were, right? Um, what was its low?
Its low was like 27.
Oh, I don't think we're going to see that.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think
yeah.
I don't think we get below 30, but
Whales are fairly bullish on it, just buying up the cheapies, I guess. I'm good with keeping it.
okay. Uh, TTCF, isn't that Tattooed Chef?
Yeah, so this popped up in my notes again. Um, 750, $8 in the leaps is what I'm seeing.
Keep it.
Yeah.
Okay. Top. God, the weekly's so nice.
Yeah, yeah, no, I think this continues. 7% on Friday. Wow.
It's one of those. Yeah, it finally came off the 7 pretty strong, and that's what you look for. Um, I mean, the daily and the weekly are beautiful. It's just like, again, one of the things that makes our room different is we've been on this thing for a while because we don't really know when it's going to take off this level. But this level is strong. We were on that real early, and it has plenty of range back. I mean, you're talking there's like 150% range from when it fell.
Yeah, and the September 16th 10C is a playable contract, and that's about $25. So that's one I think that you could buy, and you'll take that to 40 $50 probably by the end of August.
You want to keep it?
Yeah, yeah.
TWOU. Isn't it this take two?
Oh yeah.
Is that what it is? Am I right on that?
Yep, yep.
I got 1026. We're just bouncing off of that.
Yeah. So yeah, this one is likely to kind of yo-yo a bit. Still, still like 1250 on it.
Man, that's
So September 16th, 1250. Contract's about $30.
well, we just came out of earnings. Let's keep it. This might take off
Yeah,
this week. I need to read
yeah.
the report. I haven't been doing good at that. I need to read those. UXIN.
So yeah, this is one of those rare stocks under $1 that I do like. Yeah, I'm always interested. They buy a lot of 1C on this. and that's a huge move from here. So I'm still kind of into it.
I'm gonna give you another week here before I talk you out of it. It's 70 cents. Remember, it's 70 cents right now. 70.
Yeah.
That's a
Yep.
pretty. If it's like 68, 65 next week, we got to get out of here.
I'm with you.
It'll probably run to $1, but
No, I'm not. I'm not like I'm not in the Zella army. I'm not going to take it to 14 cents. So
okay,
we'll give it one more week.
okay. View was that it? Or is there more? Beautiful weekly.
Yeah, I love it when I can tweet about some boring stock we found. Um, yeah, I'll probably just take the win here. I think if there is more, we're not in a big hurry. We can just add it next week.
Perfect. Zillow.
Yeah, I want to keep it. I just kind of want to keep that real estate group because I don't know which one's going to perform the best, but I think it's going to be one of those three. I don't think it'll be Redfin. So
This, this should be.
Redfin's the one I like. So yeah, I'll
This is a
keep it.
$40 stock. It has to be.
Yeah,
So Redfin, you don't like Redfin, huh? Let's just stop right there.
not right now. So I just I kind of see more. Um, we're further from the floor on Redfin than I'm comfortable with, which I think is $7. So
Really?
I think it could fall there. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I got a lot of support at 850, and it's holding this nice ass trend since May lows. Um, that's interesting. What about I'll try to hit these by sector. Kind? Did we do kind? We kept kind, didn't we?
Yeah, we kept kind. Yep.
Hot list. Oh, what about RKT?
Always forget that one because they list them as financial services instead of real estate for some reason. Yeah, I mean, I think our RKT to me is like a $12 to $14 stock. That's what the whales seem to believe about it. Um, could definitely see it recovering to there.
I have it. Will confirm this 870, $9 level real good, and I have 11 as the next spot, with it kind of having a gap there.
Yeah,
No strong flow though.
yeah, oh yeah, it's nice.
Is it? Let's put it on there. Let's put that on there.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I like that one. I'm just gonna go back to the old way. Will you run out? Did you run Alto?
Oh, no, I have not gotten to that. Let's see.
I'm just looking for strong fives. It finally came off that goddamn level. Um, Again, this is what we kind of look for. Predicting these moves are hard, but when they do make these moves, one, two, this is a third attempt. We talked about that earlier too. These are all higher
Yeah.
as well. I'm looking for that continuation up to this five, maybe even $6 level. Um,
Yeah, 819 5C is pretty strong. I mean, especially for a contract under $10. So yeah, I could see a move to that for sure.
Let me check this
So
out.
yeah, I think we can add it.
Okay. Flex grid. Yeah. I like just think it's time. We were on it. I think we were just a little too early the first time. Um, Kind of like going back over everything. Chargers. I got a couple crappy ones. Blink and Beam.
Yeah, Chargers are pretty bullish in the flow. I know F cell looked pretty strong. Um,
Yeah, FSL too.
yeah, yeah,
Which one's the best setup? I really like I really like Beam, but I don't know if it's because it just got Pumpers got it last time, but I like this 12 and a half to 20 channel. Um, just the way it looks.
So yeah, I would say
And then
FCell has the most volume. It doesn't mean it's the best though. Beam has some decent flow up to 20 and 819. So it's definitely the most out of the money flow going on. So probably that would be the one I would pick.
What's your SL price target or strike target? What are they getting? Like 4.5s or 4s?
Mostly fours. Yeah.
And you said beam over FL. Okay, I like that.
Yep.
We'll put beam on there then. And that's notes. And just for personal, where are you on blank?
Let's see.
Because that thing has cult following. That's more what it is. Um, for me, I don't like.
Right.
It's in the middle of a zone here for me, but I'm just interested in what if you have any. And
Yeah, I mean it's like 22, 22.5. I mean nothing.
That's not
It's
far.
bullish, but nothing overwhelming.
Perfect. Let's just talk this as a sector, but bros would lead the way for me still in the coffee. I know you mentioned you had a joke about that in chat.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean I see Bros as kind of destined for $40. I think that'll hit, and
I see
maybe over the next
high
couple weeks.
40s. I got high 40s on my end, just kind of where I think it would level out.
Yeah, I mean I have some leaps to like 48.50
Yes, that's
in
the
the
number.
fall. Yeah.
How do you feel about coffee in general?
No, I like the sector. I do. I think it's it's just going to react well if the market continues to show some strength. It's a nice corner of consumer defensive, I think. Um, and Bros and Starbucks probably are the best ones.
I agree. Let's give it a week.
Okay.
See if we get something in the flow this week. Sometimes that helps too in these conversations. Like it just top of the mind awareness a little bit.
Yeah.
Like going into the week if you see something in general. Carnival Cruise Lines, CCL.
Yeah, really strong in the flow on this. I actually almost put it in.
I like them because they had like I forget what the crappy catalyst was, but they got beat down on some horrible news, and they're now talking
Yeah.
about not needing COVID tests for trips. That's not necessarily a good thing, but it's a good thing for people that don't want to take a COVID test to go on a trip. Like whether it's productive in society, telling people to
Yeah.
put on shoes or shirt, or you don't get service, it cuts out a percentage of the population that will use your service. It just does. Any kind of restriction is going to limit your market. So it's
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Even if those people might not even really care that much, except they don't like to be told what to do.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, and they're just not going to do it. Grandpa's not taking another goddamn COVID test, so
Yeah.
he's not getting on the cruise. But that's the guy that rents the luxury suite at the end with the big windows. That's that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So them having some sort of positive catalyst after a negative catalyst. Also in a pretty good zone here, $8 and $9 level holding well.
Uh,
I
yeah.
like it if you have anything flow above 10 or better. It just seems like this is a great
I
place
do.
to
Yeah,
add.
I have 10 and 11, and I think that if you look at where it is right now, you can play 950C and day trade that very cheaply for like $35 per contract. So so yeah, it's in a good spot to trade it one spot out of the money because it has these 50-cent increments, and yeah, the flow's overwhelmingly bullish on it too. So
I
yeah,
this is like the new Rite Aid for me. Another household name, way beat down. Talk about buying when it's bad, so you can own it when it's good. Um,
yeah.
totally it. ELY been in the news a little bit. Let's put it here first. Been in the news a little bit. Full disclosure, I live on a golf course. I like golf, but held 20 real
Yeah,
well.
I've been on this one before. So flow I have on it
Give me that number.
August 19th, 2425C. So pretty smooth uptrend on my end.
Yeah, and I'm if you make 25, you're making 27 for me, and that's kind of the target I have is 2750. Um, but even if you go back like to the high, this thing was 37. The way it's held 20 over the last, let's just say since April, May, just
Yeah.
constantly in an uptrend. I like it here, and I think it gets going a little bit. Um, good enough flow to put it on.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it.
I like boring stocks, so um, doing good this week. And this one only if it's golden on your end, because I believe it's one of them I found from you for sure. FVRR, is that Fiverr?
Oh yeah.
We're just
Yeah, it's the gig economy stock.
yeah, just grinding
Um
off the May lows here in a nice little channel, with plenty of range back.
so yeah, so this is one of those kind of with those monthly options. And you do see 3540 picking up pretty well. Um so this, it's I don't even think it's in QQQ, but like it's not going to go up on a bad day for QQQ. So, but if the market, this little melt up continues, it's going to benefit immensely from that. So yeah, I do. I like it in the hot market conditions. It'll do well.
Should we just save it for notes awareness, or should we hot list it?
Well, we'll save it, but I'm gonna
Okay.
make a note of it, and I'm just gonna
Yeah.
update the flow
And
as I see it.
that's sometimes part of this game with me and you in general is, you know, staying on top, keeping each other on top of things. Um, like this, yeah, I'm 100% certain I got this from you. It's
Yeah.
just in a TA spot that's crazy good now. So yeah, perfect. All right, here we're gonna have a little bit. You said your favorite one was SD, I believe, or sand. I like gold. Where gold's at for gold.
Oh, nice.
Just holding 1550 like no other. Not the biggest support shelf yet, but it doesn't want to give that area up.
Yeah, I should probably dig back into this one. I when it didn't hold 17, I kind of ignored it for a while. But yeah, no, this kind of traditionally is the best share options combo, just because it has those weekly options. So yeah, there's definitely some potential here.
What's a weekly look like? You want to save it for notes or put it on there?
Um, yeah, I mean, no, we'll add it. We'll add it. I
I just
think
think gold's gonna
having some
go.
extra gold this week. Yeah, yeah, gold's looking strong.
Um, is it Intel? INTC? Staying with the news overreaction theme.
Oh yeah, there's some bad guidance.
Yes. Yep. I don't think we go below 35. Let me bring it up on the.
No, I don't. I don't know. Like the upside, I think is so like 38 based on what I'm seeing right now,
Yeah.
uh, which isn't a ton, but certainly could be better than that. I'd like to see into the 40s. Kind of what I'm after.
How do you want to do this? This one. This is something we got to figure out in general. Do we wait a week on these guys? Do we jump on it right now?
Well, I don't know that I'm going to wait a few days, um, but I do think it'll probably bounce this week. So if we're going to hot list it, like this would be the week to get it with its particular situation. So yeah, I'm good with adding it.
All right. I see it the same way as you just said it. If we're gonna get a bounce, it'll be this week. 100%.
Yeah.
Um, is this Coles? Yeah, KSS. Another one kind of bouncing off a level here. If you see anything 35 or better.
Yeah, I'm pretty. I put Gap and Macy's in my notes, and so I think as a sector, it looks pretty good. The I mean, there's some leaps to 35 on it.
Let's keep it in notes. We're getting a little hot here, unless it's A plus.
Yeah, it didn't show up on my radar yet, quite yet. So.
Where are you at with Lucid?
Um,
Feels like it's
well, I think if it loses 18, it's in some trouble. But at the same time, 18 looks really strong on my end. So
it's beautifully got a trend going since Malos. I mean, it's just perfect.
yeah,
I
because
don't.
I kind of see this going to like $22 to $25. So that's a nice upside.
We have the earnings this week.
Yeah, I don't know how those could be good. I guess it depends on their expectations. I don't know how much they're delivering or anything.
It's not going to be good. The only
Yeah,
thing that's
yeah.
going to be good in their earnings is that they have money.
Right.
That's going to be the only good thing. Um, let's save it for notes, but I'm with you on the 8. I'm gonna probably have it in my notes this week because the 8. I'm with you. The 18, like it's pretty easy to play that from here,
Yeah.
and that's a level that kind of needs to hold. So, MViz. I know you've already looked at that one. What was your conclusion?
Oh,
You need super strong sixes. This one's probably not worth it at this point. Ah, man, I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, I don't. Six is bullish as a contract, not overwhelmingly so. Um, but I mean, this one can go for sure. It's kind of known for that.
I didn't think buying it at 4 would have been a good idea, but man, I was wrong.
Yeah, yeah. I've one for notes, I think.
Okay. I got 2 of them. I'm gonna run them together by you. But Rocket Lab, RKLB, and then the VORB, the version 1. This one just had a
Yeah.
super good
So
week.
of the space plays, space, the Virgin Galactic is the one that kind of gets all the
Yes.
attention and options. And it is actually really bullish to 8. So could be a good week for space.
This one never pops up. It's got dollar options. And then I think so does VORB. Yeah, both of these have dollar options.
Yeah.
They're cheap as shit.
Yeah. No, and there's just not a lot of buyers on them, but
Okay,
they
okay.
move pretty well. So yeah.
Both of those are on stupid levels. I'll just note them. Doesn't seem like we have
Cool.
much. What do you want to call it? Yeah. SDIG. I didn't add that yet, but we did talk about it.
Yeah. So basically, it's kind of you're limited to the 250 strike because the next one up is 5.
Okay.
Um, September 16th, 2.5C does look pretty bullish. So yeah, I like it. I mean, I'm looking to buy some shares on it,
All right, let's put
to
it
be
on there.
honest.
Yeah, that's where I'm
Yeah.
at. I play that side if you haven't figured that out. Stitch Fix is bad. Stitch Fix. I like this, and I don't talk about it enough, but that's my next prediction where I'm always right and I'm early. Is these online retailers, Purple right now too has been popping up, but the online retailers that are like pretty focused on what they do, like if they sell belts or dog biscuits or nice
Yeah.
business wear that don't have storefronts and go direct to customer, they're gonna survive, and they're not only gonna survive, they're gonna do well because you get. I mean, I think the Black Rock coffee is kind of that way too because you can order it online, but you kind of you get a cult following of people that have a little bit of consumer buy power. Like the inflation doesn't really affect them much, and they're gonna stick with the products they like. Um, yeah,
I'm with you. And so yeah, Stitch Fix, it's um, it's got some leaps to 8
the
that are promising,
yes. How
and
short? How short term is that?
it's well, I mean, so 7.5, not 8. But yeah, so it's like September 16th, 7.5C, $25, and then out to December. Um, got 10C in December,
It's flipping.
40.
It's flipping 6 right now, and I'm just trying to be a little early on it. But it's turning 6 to support as we
Yeah,
speak.
I could see a run from here for sure.
All right, let's add that one. I just like that. I like that one in general. It's one of those ones we look back and this level is going to be like, oh, we could have bought that down there. I mean,
Yeah.
not like in the next 6 months, in the next 3 years. Like we're gonna say, oh look, that's a $12, $13 stock. Wow, we were debating that at $6. Um,
Yeah.
last one I got here, well that's a lie, but last one on my main one was Workday. To be honest, I don't know what the hell is
Oh yeah,
Workday.
that pops up on my radar sometimes. So this is like an online HR kind of company. They do like your payroll software and stuff.
Oh,
Okay, so in like the weekly contract, um, 160, 162.5. Um, really, probably in like the next bull market, or whatever we want to call it, this is probably like a 180 to $200 stock, just based on the leaps I'm seeing.
yep.
So I don't know that you're going to get dramatic moves day to day, but it's definitely uh, a good value down here, I think, because I think fair values on it's about 20, $30 higher than this.
Do you have any sold puts at 140? That's really what I'm looking for.
So I mean, yeah, sold puts at 140 that's a bullish contract.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
sold yeah, sold puts up to 150 are bullish.
I guess that's probably where I'm wrong going that far out of the money. That's just my level. So I guess I'd be looking for 150 for the continuation, right? That's what I should be looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it would take some dramatic market selling for this particular stock to drop to 140. We'd have to have just like a catastrophic week, I think.
It's bounced there the last 7 weeks.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. That's why I asked. I mean, are we done with that? Wouldn't sold puts at
I
150 kind of say we're done
I
with
think
that zone?
yeah, I kind of think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is more just awareness and talking through to you. I see the same long term range as you. Um,
Yeah.
with the a 10% candle on the weekly right now. It was just interesting. Again, I went through every damn chart this weekend, so
Yeah.
thank you for bearing with me on that. I got two on the side, and they were kind of like the ones I don't really mention usually. But yeah, I read your notes because I read professors' notes because they print money, to lack of better terms. FFIE.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty active this week.
Should we just put it on the list?
So on the hot list?
Yeah. I love it here. It's a matter of
Yeah,
time, in my opinion.
right. Yes,
Okay.
I think so. Because when I say it's going to be active, I'm not meaning I don't think it's going to collapse to 175 or something.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have a good week. So yeah, I'm good with it. I mean, just a weird chart. I don't know that just to shoot up that fast and fall that fast was kind of strange, but yeah, I mean it's going to be volatile,
Yeah,
which is good.
I got like 30 cents out of it, like 118, 138, somewhere in there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and for me, anything in that, anything from the 220 down to 2, you're going to get out at the 240 to 250 level. And then if this thing does get volume, we're going places. I don't want to throw no numbers out there, but you should probably get back to a 5 test, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And then if that holds, who knows where that could go? I mean, was this last run it, or was that just the first run? Um, but yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Um, for both just rinse and repeat scalps, or for having a risk management position, and just sitting in and waiting. Um,
Yeah.
whether it's 100 shares for you or 1,000 shares for you. So yeah, perfect. Um, that's pretty much all I got. Kind of wanted to talk about. It's more of a toot my own horn, but ASRT. I wanted to mention that it's just one of the charts we've been on. I mean, it's from the previous room. Um, I used to use it as like the best teaching tool for zones, but after started working with you, there's a lot better fish in the sea. Um, but a lot of our stuff doesn't really have like FFIE is a good example. It doesn't really ever like knife back to entry or below initial entry, like ever, like hardly ever. I mean, there is a few. I mean, I'll call them out. We definitely chased Fubu
Yeah.
on the way down. No lie,
Yeah.
we chased Fubu on the way down. Um, but that doesn't happen a lot in our stuff, and I think that's overlooked in general. And then like we get away from them, right? We don't just that's going to the moon. We literally, as soon as
Yeah.
any move happens, we're literally just trying to assess a level right away. Like
Yep.
what level's going to hold to try to find another play. So I think that's undervalued, but it's another thing we don't really talk about, but we need to teach a little bit on that because that's the edge, right? That's totally the edge.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Perfect. You got anything else? I'm pretty good on my end.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't add oil to the hot list. Doesn't mean I'm not interested in oil. I think there's some there's some uncertainty. Really great close to the week. I just want to see how futures open and getting back to 100 maybe. But yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of uncertainty and energy right now, so I just want to kind of wait that out. I would keep an eye on solar for some continuation.
Yeah.
They just ran so hot. I might want them to pull back a bit before entering. But yeah, I mean, I'll just be watching futures. Crypto held up pretty well over the weekend. If BTC could break through um, to 24, 25, that'd be huge.
Yeah.
But we'll just keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Bitcoin number. Same, exactly to a science. If we get 25, just buy some of them for sure. Um, the gold 1800 I've been watching because it seems like we're trailing up to that. It seems like we're ahead of that side. And then that natural gas, those if you're struggling a little bit, cold and boil are your best friends. I know we didn't
Oh
talk
yeah,
about that today, but I love them. I'm still in cold. Kind of slow playing that with some size. Did not have the best entry. I would have loved to have 10s or 12s over my 14s. Um, but the move back to 20 there is a matter of time, in my opinion. So, um, yeah. Just I like where we're at. Everything seems good on the market. I think we're gonna have a good week. That's my outlook. Um, we're gonna have a month where there's no the feds don't have a bunch of catalysts, so I think we're gonna breathe a little bit here.
yeah.
So yeah. Other than that, I guess have a good week. Notes will be out. Hot list will be out this evening for sure.
Yep, sounds good.